The Tale of Gulden-Draak, Prologue, Part 5, Adolescence. Partner. Even the hike into the wilderness was exhilarating for Olga. She had never felt like an equal in her marriage, or any arrangement, her whole life for that matter. At last she had a full share of brilliant excitement. Riding high, the prospect of dangers ahead filled Olga's head with foolhardy notions of her own capabilities. I'm even more accurate with the bow under pressure than Torgund, she mused. I should have been the one to come out hunting, if custom did not restrict me to manage our house. Now the hills and valleys and the trees are our home, and I will prove myself my husband's equal or better in all things. Torgund, on the other hand, could not stop smiling to himself. His pleasure abounded at his wife believing in him so much, in his quest. He felt for the first time that she was truly beaming, and he was responsible. She would surely be happy beside him now. Perhaps we will now fall in love like the fairy tales, and when our hearts are full of joy for one another, our bodies will follow and yield a child at last, he wondered. The kilometers disappeared quickly underfoot. Torgund and Olga slept better under those cold stars than any night surrounded by the warmth and comforts of home. Only 2 days more, Torgund would promise with a hopeful smile. Olga would return. The beauty of nature was not shy throughout their trek. With every magnificent buck and eagle and waterfall and expanse, she laid herself bare before them. Still, Torgund and Olga only thought of the golden dragon, taking for granted every squirrel or hare they shot. On what was supposed to be the last night of their journey, the second half of a squirrel sizzled in the pot. The embers in their fire were just beginning to burn low. "Take that off, it's ready, Torgund," Olga motioned impatiently. She had not yet fully stood up with the next loosely bound faggot when she heard the dragon, like the sound of heat escaping a heavy log on the chieftain's hearth. The golden dragon screamed overhead. Olga dropped her sticks as she felt the air being parted over her head. Diving for the ground, she knocked over the pot of squirrel Torgund had laid aside to cool. As she scrambled for the bow, Torgund laughed. "He knows me and is inspecting you." With arrows knocked, Olga waved her bow back and forth, trying to follow the fluttering dragon as it circled their camp just outside the light of their dying fire. "What are you doing, Olga?" Torgund cried. "You must not attempt to bring down the dragon, or we will gather only one set of baby scales." Olga lowered her bow, but did not put it down, even after tossing the rest of the sticks and twigs over the fire. "Tomorrow we will sleep under the trees so the beast will not dive on us like his prey," Torgund reassured. A chill ran down Olga's spine at the word prey. She certainly felt as such, with eyes wide open till the dawn. After breakfast of cold squirrel, it took most of the daylight hiking up the highest ridge before Torgund and Olga first laid eyes together on the airborne serpent. Just a glint of gold on the side of the clouds were all they saw at first. "See!" Torgund exclaimed. "He hunts along the ridge lines, forming a grander circle of all his zigzags. Eventually, he will have to hunt down into the plains if he grows large enough to hunt for a whole deer or reindeer." Olga was caught off guard. She had not previously thought about just how big the dragon would grow, or what that could mean. Her puzzle was interrupted by the golden streak falling like lightning from the sky and down onto a faraway ridge. "You see," Torgund shouted, "the beast hunts again. We must make our way towards that ridge and find where he landed. By the time we get there, the dragon will have taken wing once more, and we can keep tracking him." The light was dying fast by the time Torgund and Olga arrived at the carcass of a half-eaten fawn at the edge of the woods. A single golden scale, larger than any Torgund had scavenged, lay next to one of the baby hooves. Ignoring the fawn, Olga picked up the scale with both hands. Even in the last ray of daylight, it seemed to glow in her palm. She stood speechless as Torgund began collecting wood for the night's fire.